Hi everybody, I'm so happy that you could join me today. We are drawing Batman. So grab a pencil with an eraser, a piece of paper, and your favorite liner pen, and I will see you in the art room. Hi there and welcome. Today we are drawing Batman and I'm so excited to draw Batman with you. I actually drew this the other day with my Saturday group, and it's from this clip art drawing. And what I like about this particular version of Batman is it's very stylized. His legs are really stylized, and his hand looks like it could be a claw, razor blades, and it's very dynamic. It's really simple. It looks like he's racing at you and he's going to like grab you. And I think it's a really super fun drawing to draw. So just like our other drawings, we're going to draw this one the same exact way. I'm going to take this out of the way and I'm going to show you. Here is a sketched out version from the other day of what the drawing, one of my versions of the drawing looks like. This is like me sketching it out before inking it in. And I'm not going to use that. I'm using it as an example. But since this is, I recommend that we hold our paper landscape. This is portrait and this is landscape. Okay. And that's how I'm going to hold my paper. Also, I recommend using, if you have, what your favorite pencil, right? Whatever favorite drawing material you have. I actually switched to a different pencil. This is a soft 2B pencil. Hopefully it won't make a mess of my paper. But if all you have is a regular pencil like this, that's totally fine too. I actually switch out in between pencils. And then after we finish, we're going to line our drawings with liner pens. Liner pens are pens like thin Sharpies, right? The thin one, not the thick one. It might ruin your drawing. I also have this brush liner and then a micron pen. There are many versions of these, and I use these pretty regularly if you've been watching my videos. So here is what the layout looks like of Batman, and you can notice it's fairly simple. Once we put the layout in, which is going to look something like this, we are going to then go in and finesse the lines, make the wings and everything else. I'm just fixing my camera. And let's get started. So just like in all of our other drawings, I am going to take my pencil and my paper and I'm going to grid out my drawing. These are just guidelines. So it's halfway and halfway, right? If you're not sure what halfway is on my paper, it's my paper's 12, so it's 6. And if you don't have a ruler, you can do this freehand. This is so we can scale the drawing, right? Which means, and I don't want to draw a tiny, tiny, tiny Superman, Batman in the middle of my page. I want it to fit in the middle of my page. And I use these lines to measure off of. Okay, so there's this line right here. Excellent. And so this is like straight up drawing, right? You can do this with anything. For example, you're like, oh, I like this. Let's copy it. How would I do that? And you're training your eyes to see by looking in between the positive and the negative spaces. Okay, so we're going to start laying this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure. It's about 3 fingers up from the bottom, right about right here. And it's about 3 fingers to the top and 1 finger on either side. And what I'm going for is a rectangle. Now, I always like to turn my paper to make my lines easier to draw. And again, this is the layout. It's not the exact thing. So we're not looking for a perfect finished drawing in the layout. We're just looking for exactly what it is. It's a layout. The next thing I'm going to measure down here is 3 fingers on either side of this line. So this finger's in the middle, and this is about the size of the waist. Now, I don't have the drawing in front of you. I don't have this for you to look at while I'm drawing. I'll put it back up when we're finessing the lines, but just while we get these lines in, it's an easy, we're just going to kind of walk through it like this. So then he has these collarbones, and so one is kind of over here like this, and then the other one is over here like this, and then he has a back collarbone, which would be the top part of his wing, which is over here like this. It's kind of shooting down, and this one would be like this, and this is like saying that, you know, he's looking up as he's coming at you, right? And then from here, I want to take this line down, and then I'm going to put this line like this. And you can see that it's already starting to build a kind of three-dimensional look. And then this line from here to here is going to come down like this. And this is just, these are just guidelines. I'll eventually erase them, right? And so then his waist is going to go in here. And we're going to fit all that other stuff, right? His face, his biceps, his abs are all going to go in here. And then I'm just going to slowly build in his leg area down here like this. And then over here, I'm going to put a giant kind of oval for his leg, which fits in here like this. Now, at any time during this video, you want to pause or stop, feel free to do so. That is totally fine. So right about like this, we're just going to put in, I mean, obviously his legs got all kinds of stuff going on, but we're just laying out. This is a very quick way to kind of lay out what we need to lay out, right? And then over here, I'm going to sketch in what looks like part of his arm. And then at the very end of it, I'm going to put in what looks like a fist. Like so. And that fist is his fist, right? And it's bigger because it's coming at you. Okay, so moving over here, we're not really seeing much of his top part of his arm, but I do know that my hand takes up a huge amount of space. So that is going to be over here, kind of in this area right here. And again, this is subjected to change, right? Based on what we're drawing. So what I love about this stage of the drawing is that you can kind of see that it looks like an abstract figure drawing. It doesn't necessarily, could be Superman, could be anybody, right? I think it's pretty cool. So then we have some wings, right? And then our wings, they do kind of start off in here, and they are pretty on this parallel. I'm just going to measure it out. They're on this parallel chain. So I'm going to just say one end of the wing is going to be right here, and one end of the wing is going to be over here, right? And then this, I'm going to turn my paper to do it because I'm going to make a swooping line. This is going to come out from over here, and then this is going to come out from over here. Like that. You know, again, not perfect, but it's what it is. And then there's our wings are going to fit right in here. And this is where I'm always like, oh, maybe I should move that shape. It's okay. This is where I start to finesse things and see my scribbles. And then this comes down. Sorry. And then this. Now I am referencing something, so I'm being very cautious about where I put my marks. He does have a foot that's in here. But we'll put that in later. So let's put the rest of the wings in. So then this wing comes over here like this. And this follows it around down like this. And this is gonna go behind that. And something like this. So there you have the layout of your drawing. So if you need to pause, you can pause it right here and fill in everything that you need to fill in so we can finish up the next part of the drawing, which is the finessing of the drawing. Okay, so next step is to start putting in the shapes of the drawing. Just going to move this over here like this. And I'm going to move this underneath it like this. And actually, like, how is the best way to do this? Okay. Put it like right here. I want to put I'm going to start with the face because I think that's the easiest. I'm just going to put this right here. And I'm going to put this over here so you can see it. I am going to erase this middle line. And my face might be a little bit bigger than this face, but that's okay. Mainly because I want you to see what I'm doing. Oh my God, I just erased everything. Well, not really. I can still see my guidelines. So the next thing I'm going to do is his head is right in the middle of everything, which is great. So I'm going to put his chin line in, which is right there like that. And then I'm going to put his jaw line in, which comes up like that. And I'm going to change to a different weight of a pencil because I'm worried that the lead is the wrong weight. I'm going to end up smudging everything. So these lines that come up on either side of the head are ears or the sides of his head. So I'm just I move my paper so it's easier to draw. Like that. And then on the very top of his head, I'm going to put an ear here and an ear here. And then in here, I'm going to put the top part of his head like that. And so about a little bit, so halfway is right here, about halfway, a little below halfway. I'm going to put a line. And since this is a very like graphic kind of drawing, these little shapes in here are mainly clip art shapes. So they're very graphic. So you don't have to necessarily draw them in, but right here, there's like a triangle that you would leave this white and not black, right? So this triangle comes down like this. And then on either side of this triangle, right in here, just made those marks. I'm going to make some other triangles that look like this, which are eyes. And then I have another triangle that comes up, and then these are his eyebrows. So we get his whole face. I usually don't put the face in right away, but I'm just going to go for it. And then I'm going to make a mark from here to here. And this is going to be the top part of his hat. And then to make it easy on myself, I'm going to move my paper and I'm going to section off his face like this. Moving the paper allows me to get a straighter line, right? Oh, the lines have to be straight, or it's nice to have straight lines. So, and it's pretty graphic. So the next, now this is when I can kind of look at it and say, oh, Kathy, those eyes are way too big. Let's make those eyes a little smaller. So from here to here, much better. And from here to here. So again, sometimes it's not perfect, right? This is like we're in the gym, we're working out, we're drawing Batman. It's all good. We might make some mistakes. And when I go to line this in, I can make this line much more precise. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Just get the face in. It's all that matters. Then his mouth comes down right across here like this. And then he has this part of his mouth that looks like this. And then he has I'm going to erase that again. Start from the bottom up. He has a cleft chin, which is a marking on his chin. Then he has a semicircle mouth that looks like this. And then this comes, you're like giving up already, a little bit like that. Okay. Excellent. So there is our face that can be tweaked and whatnot later on. Okay, so from here, I'm going to draw out what happens after his wings. So this line comes out like this, and this line is going to come up like that. And then in here, I'm going to have a line right here, which will end up fading out into the wing. And then right behind it, this slants down and slants over. And then right behind that, there's another wing. Cool. Okay, so, so everything is like gonna kind of fit in with each other. So I'm just looking at the shapes and I'm not finishing over here because I can't really see that. But right here, so if this is his arm, that's gonna go in there. He's gonna have kind of an armpit that's gonna go right about there. And then from right about right here to kind of this halfway area, he's going to have, his giant chest muscle that comes over like this. And again, my version is a little bit bigger than this one, so you can see it. And then right here, this comes down. This is going to come like that. Right above, defining his waist, he has a belt on. And that belt is right in here. So I started drawing superheroes because I had a student who asked me to draw them. And I started drawing a lot of the characters that I draw, not because I don't really think about it, but the kids asked me to draw them. So I'm like, okay, I'll draw them. So I'm going to put an oval right in here. So the point is that if you have something that you like, you can always send me a request and I will draw it for you or show you how to draw it. And this is how we learn. So in here is his chest oval plate, right? And then under here, he's going to have the top part of his abs, right? And then this comes down like that. Now, I'm going to detail this in a minute. This is his knee. Inside of his belt looks like this. I will say though that I've been doing the superhero classes now for, I don't know, since the winter. I really enjoy drawing the superheroes. And I don't really know anything about superheroes. So here's this to that. I think it's fun. I think drawing is fun. I think drawing superheroes is fun. And I'm happy to share. Okay, so then in here is his, I'm just going to move this a little bit. So this kind of comes around as if it's showing the side of his thigh and wraps around. And then I'm going to finish his belt. So I tend to like to do the bottom halves of the drawing first, and then I go back and do the top half. So this thigh comes over here a little bit more. And this gets moved over a little bit more. So as we're drawing, we're always checking and we're always moving and rendering, and things are not always perfect, right? We're not perfect. And we can always erase. That's the good part. That's the fun part. These little belt packets. So I have drawn like Captain America, Spider-Man, Superman, Black Panther, Thor. I've drawn pretty much most of the Marvel guys. I drew just Dash from The Incredibles. I'm going to draw the rest of The Incredibles a little later. And hopefully I'll get those videos up so we can, you can draw them too. All right, so I'm going to ignore this and I'm going to finish over here. So I actually love this leg. It's a nice leg. It comes down like this, and then it cuts off over here. Like that. And then it has a leg muscle like that in here. And then his knee goes down like that. And again, these are really stylized shapes, okay? Stylized in the sense that they're stylized is not particularly accurate. They're in a certain style. So then this shape looks like this. See how I did that? I made that. I drew through the form and then I erased it. And I noticed my foot now is too short because I've made my Batman a little bit bigger, but that's okay. My foot is going to come down here like this, and then like this, and then like this. I'll move it up so you can see it. And then this shape wraps around like this. And like that. And so I'm just looking at that shape. And I've kind of trained my eyes to see shapes. And then my boot area is going to look like this. So for any of you that have been to art school or draw for a living or an artist, it's like we spend our time looking at shapes and seeing certain things in certain ways and what that looks like. And it's a very specific kind of a thing. And my purpose here is to get whoever's looking at these drawing classes to kind of recognize that everything is a shape and shape makes things. And the better you get at drawing shapes, the better artist that you become. And then you can go on to do lots of cool things. And how important, you know, just seeing line is. It's very cool. Okay, so from here to here, we have this knee shape. And then, so that doesn't completely, so this cuts off. And then this is the back side of his shoe. And then his shoe comes down like this and this. And then this line, I'm gonna have to turn my paper to do it. This line comes around like this. And in here is the top part of his knee. So this it looks a lot bigger than it is since we're missing. So this comes like this and like that. And then this comes around like that. And then don't forget to put in, there's a parallel line. There's a parallel line that cuts his shoe off. Like this. And so this goes like this. And that's pretty good. So there is that part of our drawing. So I'm just going to move this over a little bit and let's finish off over here. So here is his other collarbone. And this line is going to get moved to right about right there. And inside this line I'll put the rest of the wing in later, but this is where my paper tends to get smudged because I'm going to run my hand all over it. So I'm just going to put this right here so I don't run my hand all over it. Then this comes down like this. And I might have to start adjusting. So from right here, yeah, these are in the wrong spots. Let's measure. Okay. So from right here, this is going to come up and over. And then this is going to come up and over. And then this is going to come around. Okay, that looks pretty good. Although it's a little bit bigger than anticipated. So I'm just going to make it a little smaller. Oh, you're killing me, Kathy. I mean, a fraction of an inch can make a huge difference than how things look. Okay. Good. Okay, so then from here, from right here to right here, I'm going to go like that. And in here, is where the first thumb of Batman is going to go. Right? So his thumb is going to go right in this funky shape that I just drew. But don't worry about that. So that is his thumb. So let's draw the rest of it behind here. And then his finger is going to be in here like this. And then behind this, there is his arm, which comes like this. And then is straight. And then from here to here, I'm going to make a shape that looks like this. And then from here to here, I'm going to make a line that looks like that. And then let's sketch out this hand. So here's one finger right there. And then this back thumb. So then this looks like that. And then this is like that. And so I'm just putting in these fingers, right? So from here to about right here, I'm going to put in a straight line. If I don't put a piece of paper down, I'm going to smudge up everything. And so this circle connects down like this. And then there's a back connector circle right here like that. And I'm just looking at the shapes. I'm not going to put in those fancy spikes yet. So I'm just gonna so this next finger comes over like that. And then they're so stylized, they're almost really hard for me to draw. And then I have to put in 2 more fingers. So from right here to right here. And then, I mean, it doesn't even look like a finger. Make it a little longer and skinnier. And then this finger. Like that. And so when I ink it and I erase all of these lines, it'll look better. I hope. Just kidding. And so now I can put in this little fin thing down here. So this comes down like this and like this. I think my pencil, I know it's annoying. All right, let's finish that other hand. We're almost done. So coming over here on this back end, this muscle comes up like this. And then this is that comes up like that because his arm is turning. And that comes around like that. And then this comes down like this, and this comes over and over. And then this shape right here is the beginning of his thumb. Like that. And so then this comes over and up. And then this comes down and over and down. I'm just kind of sectioning it out on in my drawing, just like that. It's really pretty easy to get that glove on. And then he has these wings in the back, like this. I think he looks great. All right, let's finish this part, which is his. So this comes around like this. And then I have to turn my paper so I can reach it. And you know what? It's how it's done. So you turn your paper too. I'm using my whole wrist to do that. And so then this points down and comes around and out like that. And this is pretty straight. And then this is going to curve down. And then this is going to come out and curve up. And there we have one side. Now this is all blacked in. If you want to blacken in yours, you can. So this comes down like that, and like that, and like that. And over here, this is a little different. This comes out and around, and then this comes around. And then at the very top over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry this around like that. And there you have your Batman drawing. Ta-da! All right, let's line it and then erase it. If you want to go now, you can, no problem. I'm going to use my Sharpie. And I didn't put in my Batman logo. I'm going to do that right now. Right in here. So I'm just going to measure it out. And I'm not going crazy with the stylizing of the logo. I'm just kind of seeing what I see. And remember, you can pause if you need to pause. You can watch it and come back to it. And there's this side, comes down. Great. So when I go to ink that in, we'll know it's Batman. All right, I'm going to start with my Sharpie. So, and then I'll go over things as I go, but I like to start off in areas that, where my lines might be a little smaller. It's easier. And then I can erase my scribble lines and I can color it in. But you want to start with really small spaces. And then you want to then erase your lines when you need to. So my drawings tend to be not renderings, because that's not my goal. I like to color in. I might upload this into my iPad and draw it and do a digital rendering of it. Or I might use colored pencils, whatever you feel. Everybody has their own ways. I think it's really important to like understand how the line really works and kind of go from there. But when you're drawing these lines, kind of be mindful of where you're putting them and really take your time, because you don't want to have to make a mistake after you've come this far. And if you do make a mistake, there's always a place to kind of fix it. So I will go in with my brush pen after I've kind of lined everything and make some of these other lines a little darker. But drawing, like anything, is a practice, and we're practicing our skills. And when we practice something, we see new things and we get better and we challenge ourselves. So if you look at something and say, oh my God, it's so hard. How am I going to do that? I don't know if I can do it. She wants me to draw what? How am I going to draw that? I mean, rather than like, you just jump right in and you break things down into very simple shapes and very simple lines, you can realize that you can do hard things, right? You can do hard things. And it's just a drawing. If you don't like it, you can throw it away. Here's the eyes. Cool. Okay, let's do this part. And then the oval. And I feel like, if I really concentrate on certain parts and take my time, my hand-eye coordination gets better. My muscle control gets better. And it just makes it more enjoyable. And I become, I don't know, I kind of go to a different place of concentration, meditation, concentration, whatever you want to call it. It's a very similar place to say, an art practice is a yoga practice. It's a mind-body practice. And it's a skill, and you can learn how to do it, and then you can get really good at it, and maybe you can make a career out of it, or maybe you just do it because you like it and you find yourself doodling in things, keeping a sketchbook, drawing things that make you happy. Ta-da! Okay, before I get rid of the line, I'm just going to do one more thing. I'm going to kind of thicken these muscle lines, and I'm going to thicken the hands because they're closest to us, right? And when I go to color this in, I can think about what his costume looks like. I'm not doing all of the lines, I'm just doing these kind of outer edges. I think Batman has been my favorite drawing so far of my YouTube videos. So don't feel like you have to color it in. Don't feel like you have to ink it. Don't feel like you have to erase the lines. Okay, so I think I am ready. I'm ready to color it in. I'm ready to erase the lines. So what, oh, I forgot this one. So what that looks like really quickly is that I'm going to take this eraser, and I'm just going to go over all of the lines, which are the smudge lines from my pencil. And definitely feel free to move your paper around. Now, if this was in my sketchbook, I might put like a caption. I'm going to think about like how I'm going to color in his cape. You know, what tool am I going to use to blacken it? I'm going to take a while to think about it, but think about sharing your work with me. I'm at futurepicassos.com, info@futurepicassos.com, or on Instagram or on Facebook, Future Picassos. If you liked today's video, please hit like and subscribe, and stay tuned for some more videos next week. And thank you so much for drawing with me. And this is where I go back in and I get really kind of excited about my drawing and coloring things in and whatnot. Maybe you can do that too. Thank you so much for drawing with me today, and I hope you learned something. And I'll see you in the art room next week. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Bye.